Most people think getting rich feels obvious. Like one day you wake up, check your bank account, and suddenly feel successful. But real wealth almost never works like that. In fact, some of the strongest signs you're becoming financially ahead feel completely invisible while they're happening. No luxury car, no flashy Instagram lifestyle, no dramatic, I made it moment. Just small shifts, quiet habits, different decisions. And weirdly, those invisible shifts are usually what separate people who build lasting wealth from people who only look rich online. Because in America right now, millions of people are trapped in a cycle that looks successful from the outside. Nice apartment, Famen new iPhone weekend, shopping car payments, DoorDash every night. Financially, they're barely breathing. Meanwhile, someone else is quietly building freedom without looking impressive at all. And the scary part? Most people don't even realize they're getting richer until years later. So in this video, we're breaking down 10 hidden signs you're becoming richer than most people, even if it doesn't feel like it yet. And the last sign? That's usually the one self-made wealthy people develop before their life changes completely. Sign 1. You've stopped trying to look rich. This is one of the earliest shifts. At some point, you stop caring about proving success. You don't feel pressure to upgrade everything anymore. Not because you're broke, but because your priorities changed. Most people spend money for social approval. They buy things to feel respected, relevant, successful. But financially smart people slowly realize something uncomfortable. The people you're trying to impress usually aren't financially free either. So instead of buying status, you start buying peace. And that mindset shift is massive, because wealth isn't built from big moments. It's built from thousands of small decisions nobody claps for. Sign 2. Your money anxiety is slowly decreasing. Notice this carefully. Not your income, your anxiety. Years ago, one unexpected expense could ruin your entire month. A car repair, a medical bill, rent increase. Now, maybe those things still annoy you, but they don't emotionally destroy you anymore. That's progress. Real wealth often starts psychologically before it starts mathematically. Because when your brain stops living in constant survival mode, you make better decisions, less panic, less emotional spending, less desperation. And ironically, that calmness is something many high-income Americans still don't have. There are people making 6 figures, living paycheck to paycheck, while someone making far less quietly builds stability. That's the hidden difference. Sign 3. You've become harder to impress. This one changes everything. Luxury stops hypnotizing you. You start seeing the hidden cost behind everything. The monthly payments, the debt, the stress, the overtime required to maintain the lifestyle. And suddenly, rich-looking life doesn't look as attractive anymore. Because mature financial thinking changes your question from, how expensive is this? To, how much freedom does this cost me? That's a completely different mindset. And most people never reach it. Sign 4. You're thinking longer term than people around you. This is huge. Average people think in weekends. Wealthy thinkers think in decades. You start making decisions your current self doesn't fully benefit from. Investing, building skills, protecting credit, saving consistently, taking care of your health. None of those feel exciting immediately, which is exactly why most people avoid them. But hidden wealth is usually boring in real time. That's the secret nobody posts online. The future version of your life is being built by decisions that feel small today. And if you're starting to think this way, you're already ahead of most people. Sign 5. You no longer need constant retail therapy. Let's be honest. A lot of spending is about needing things. It's emotional regulation, stress, boredom, loneliness, validation, that random Amazon purchase. Sometimes it's just dopamine. But when your financial mindset improves, you slowly stop needing spending to feel better. And that's powerful. Because consumer culture in America is designed to keep people emotionally dependent on buying things. Every ad tells you, you deserve this. Treat yourself. upgrade your life. Meanwhile, your future freedom quietly gets delayed. So if you're becoming more intentional with spending, that's not deprivation, that's growth. Sign 6, you're starting to value time more than status. This shift is rare. You begin realizing money can return, time can't, and suddenly you start respecting your energy differently. You become more careful about toxic, jobs draining, people unnecessary, stress endless comparison. Because eventually, financial maturity teaches you something school never does. The goal isn't just making money. The goal is owning your life. And honestly, a lot of people with expensive lifestyles don't actually own their lives. Their bills do. Sign 7. Your financial decisions are becoming less emotional. This is one of the biggest hidden signs. You stop reacting impulsively. Market crashes don't instantly panic you. Sales don't control you. Social pressure affects you less. You start thinking logically instead of emotionally. And in finance, that skill alone can change your future because most bad money decisions happen emotionally. Panic, selling, overspending flex, culture or revenge spending lifestyle inflation. Wealthy people aren't perfect, but they usually have better emotional control around money. And if you're slowly building that control, you're building something valuable most people never master. Sign 8, you've started caring more. About ownership, this is where things get interesting. Poor mindset, can I afford the payment? Wealth mindset, can I own something that grows? That's a completely different game. You start understanding assets invest in DACI businesses' long-term value. Even if you're still early financially, your brain starts moving differently. And once that shift happens, it's very hard to go backwards. Because ownership changes how you see the world. Employees work for money. Owners build systems that continue working. And the moment you start thinking like an owner, your financial trajectory starts changing. Sign 9, you're becoming more selective about who influences you. This one is underrated. Your environment affects your financial future more than people realize. If everyone around you normalizes debt, overspending, financial chaos, constant comparison, eventually, it starts feeling normal to you too. But financially aware people slowly become protective of their mindset. They pay attention to who they listen to, what content they consume, what lifestyles they admire, because influence shapes behavior, and behavior shapes financial outcomes. That's why two people with the same salary can end up in completely different lives. One buys appearances, the other buys options. Sign 10. Your definition of rich is changing. This is the biggest sign of all. At first, being rich looks external: cars, watches, designer brands, huge houses, but eventually your definition evolves. Rich starts meaning freedom, flexibility, peace, control over your schedule, not stressing over emergencies, having choices, and honestly, that mindset shift changes everything. Because people who chase appearances often stay trapped forever. But people who chase freedom usually build real wealth over time, quickly, slowly, almost invisibly, until one day, everyone suddenly thinks they got lucky. And maybe that's the strangest part about becoming wealthy. For a long time, it doesn't feel dramatic at all. No movie moment, no instant transformation, just small invisible upgrades. Better decisions, better habits, better emotional control, better long-term thinking. And while the world keeps rewarding people who look successful, real wealth usually grows in silence. So if some of these signs sound familiar, you may be doing far better than you think, even if nobody notices yet, including you.